All right, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at how you can use Postman to test your webhooks in Fusion. My name is Kristoffer. I'm the founder of Pitaya Consulting Group. We're an Adobe partner that helps companies, among other things, use Fusion, improve their work processes, use Adobe Workfront, and just make sure that their entire work management is being done correctly. So if that's something you would like help with, definitely reach out. But today we're going to be looking at, again, how we can be using Postman to test your custom webhooks in Fusion. So I have this webhook I created. To create a webhook, it's pretty straightforward. You would just click the webhook, add a custom webhook, give it a name, hit add, give it a name. You know, you don't need to worry about IP restrictions unless, that's for if you're wanting to limit, specific IP addresses from triggering this. But most of the time, I imagine you're not going to be needing that. But if you do, you put that there. So you'd name it, you'd hit save, and then I'm just going to delete this. Then you'd have your webhook set up just like this, and then you would get your webhook URL right here. You would just be able to copy that address to your clipboard by clicking right here. But yeah, so the webhook itself is pretty straightforward, easy to set up. If you would like a video diving more into that, happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments. This specific webhook, as you can see by the name, I have connected to Google Sheets. So I was able to get where I'm doing an action in my Google Sheet would actually trigger this webhook. If that's something you're interested in seeing as well, let me know, and I can definitely make a video on how I set that up. But for this video, we're gonna kind of skip past all that and just get to the testing part with Postman. So let's jump into Postman. So we're here. You can, if you don't have an account, you can set up an account for free with Postman, or if you have your account, just log in. You can create a collection. I just have this one for testing. And then I'm going to go up here and click New, and then HTTP. Okay. So a few things we need to do right away is we want to change this to post because what we're going to be doing is sending data to Fusion. And so we're going to use post. And then on this line, we're going to hit body, and I'm going to go to raw and make sure that this is set to JSON. It might default to text if you haven't changed it before, so just make sure you click JSON. Yeah, so that's the first step. So now we need to get the URL, which we already did, but just to show you again, you would just click into your module, copy that address to clipboard. You can go back here and just paste that there. Okay, so that's going to work. Now we want to use and put in some data in JSON format. So there's a couple things we can do here. One, you could just, put something in JSON, either, you know, create it yourself. You can use an AI tool to help you with that if you're not familiar with writing JSON yourself. You can just put in, um, whatever you wanted and then send it that way to test. Or if you've ran this um, webhook before and you have that data, you can go copy that in JSON format, and I'll show you how to do that. So, for example, a potential use case would be, let's say you have some sort of form that's gathering data that's outside of Workfront, and you're wanting that, when that form is submitted, you're wanting to gather the information from that form in order to push into Workfront, add to a project, or whatever. Right? That's just one potential use case out of, dozens. But in order to go get that JSON, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the history. I'm just going to go here to the history, and I'm going to click on this little bubble, and it's going to say the output right here. Okay. So this is that output, and in order to get it in JSON format, I'm not just going to copy this. I'm actually going to go over here to download it and download output bundles, and that's going to give it to me in that JSON. And then I can just copy that. Um, Pretty sure I copied it correctly. Yep. Then you just come in and paste it in Postman um, in this section. Okay, so now that's ready. So now let's go back here. And if I run once, I'm going to listen for new. And then let's send this. You'll see it kind of load, and then it'll say accepted. That means it's been sent. So now let's go look at our Fusion. It might just take a sec, and then it should push through. Okay, there we go. So that finished. Now let's go look at it. And we have that same information, the message, the name, title company. So let's just go and mess with this to see how that works. So maybe the message is this is a new message, right? And then we're going to change Clark to Bruce Wayne. And for the company, instead of Superman Inc., we'll go with Wayne Industries. And we'll leave the title as CEO. Okay, so now we change this and let's go run this again and we'll send it. Okay, that's been accepted. Let's go over here and that time was super quick and we'll see, okay, this is a new message, Bruce Wayne, Wayne Industries. So you see how that changed. So pretty simple, but that's how you're able to use Postman, connect your Postman to Fusion in order to test those webhooks. And this is great. Again, going back to that example use case I gave where maybe it's a form where you're not having to go in and fill out the form every time you want to test this. You can just go into Postman and run it this way, which will definitely be a lot easier and more beneficial. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. You can leave a comment or you can reach out to my email directly. You can email me at Kristoffer at pitayaconsultinggroup.com. I'll leave that email down in the description. And yeah, definitely, if there's anything else that we can help with, don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll see you guys on the next video.